So I am so happy to welcome my new friend, Griwinder Singh, if you would like to come up. So he's with us this week with his family. So yes, Gurwinder came here to Canada from northern India. He's been here for a few decades now, and he works at Simon Fraser University in the business school there, but he also runs a nonprofit helping educate young people in India who are disadvantaged. And he does so much beautiful work here. He's a teacher from the Sikh Tradition, specializing in oneness and diversity. And I'll let you know what that means soon. And we're just so happy to have you here. So thank you so much,
Thank you,
Griwinder.
Kathy.
Thanks for joining us.
Ik Onkar. Ik Onkar. Ik Onkar. Remembering the one, the divine, who's in all of us, everywhere. Remembering all the blessings, all the gifts. I want to start with thanks, gratitude, that I am with my family, honor, privilege, and so grateful to be in this place. What a beautiful, lovely people you all are. Beautiful, lovely, kind. Thank you so much for having us here. Thank you so much. I also respectfully want to acknowledge that I, with my family, we are privileged to live, work, and play the unceded traditional territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. I also want to acknowledge and respect all the elders, everyone, all the spirits who have helped us to be where we are, who are still helping us. With that, I also want to, this is a very special day because all over the world, the Sikhs, which we called, are celebrating the Shabd Guru on this day. And it's a coincidence that I'm here. And the Shabd Guru, I'll share more about that. But we want to start with the first prayer that every Sikh starts and sing, which is universal oneness prayer, to connect all of us, all the beings, that we have to feel those virtues in us here in the heart. And with that, I start with the very common greeting which we use, the short version, and I'll say the big version, but I'll start with the meaning so that you all feel that. The short version that we use is Sat Sri Akal. Sat is the truth, the universal truth, which is here, which doesn't change with your body. Whether you're here or not, it's in your spirit, it's in your heart. Truth, universal truth, which is binding everything, even the trees, the birds, everything, the universal truth. Sri is the supreme. This truth is the supreme. The rest is all relative. Akal is eternal. Sat, truth, Sri, supreme, Akal, eternal. When we close our hands, and I ask all of you to start this today dialogue of love and kindness. Here in the heart, if you close your eyes and think of all the love and kindness that you have got and that you want to share, and don't stop. Give it to everyone, all the faces that are coming to you, and say it, Sat Sri Akal. Sat Sri Akal. Bole, So, Nihal, whoever recite and remember this greeting, Sat Sri Akal, will be always in bliss because you will bow to the infinite positive love which is in all of you. We'll sing the prayer. Feel free to sing. I am accompanied with my family, my daughter Japlin, who's on the string instrument Dilruba, and my daughter Rabia, who's in grade 8, is with the string instrument Rabab, and they will be playing tabla along with it, and they're going to sing this prayer, which will be displayed on the screen behind. You can see, and you can sing as well. And over to them.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for joining in this prayer to go inner here, to connect with all. It all starts here. It all starts with a thought. It all starts with a feeling. To be present. Now imagine the time. Imagine the time of the 15th century in India, where there are a lot of people invading India and bringing an idea of how one should pray, how one should look, what language should be spoken, what rituals need to be done. And then there is an Indian civilization where they have their own journey. And think about it, that how suddenly that happened in India has happened in North America as well. When we think we know better than others, when we think that my way is the highway. And that is the time when people from these outer language barriers that I call Dad, Abba, or I call Father, or I call Pitaji in different language. And because they're calling the different words to say and feel and experience, they're fighting. Because they wear different way of the way they look, they're fighting. Because they have different way of singing and expressing the love, they're fighting. And that love train, what a beautiful, right? But everybody wants to be an engine. Join my train. I'll tell you where is the love, right? And it has to be on my tracks, by the way. Right? And that is the time when the voice, and I feel that the voice is always had been and will be, and always will be, everywhere. That's the music. The voice emerged from who we call Guru Nanak. And I'll come to this man who we call Guru, joined in this universal love, the circle of love and kindness, and started this journey to have a dialogue. The dialogue where we are having right now. I'm so thankful that you, all very loving, kind people, very understandable, trying to understand and celebrate together. And Guru Nanak, who was born in North India in the 15th century when all this was happening, he reminded, whether it's church or mosque or temple, we're all singing the same, and it's the same train, by the way. You might be sitting in a different box, but it's the same engine. It may have a different sound, whistling sound, but it's the same here. This prayer, the prayers which are sung, they're all taking us in. And Guru Nanak going on a pilgrimage to talk and have a dialogue with people from different cultures, languages. And he take this journey from where we call north of India, which is currently Pakistan. And he starts traveling to a Makkah. That is a very sacred place for Muslims. Because there was a lot of people used to take the journey from India, all the Muslims. And he likes to create a conversation, so he's born in a Hindu family. But he doesn't believe in the outer tags because he have realized that love here. So he dressed very wisely and very, I would say, he has a lot of humor in him. So he dressed half as a Muslim, which the way Muslims look, but he also dressed the way the Hindus look. And people are confused. right? Because people say, who are you? Because that's what everyone asks this question. Who are you? What they want to know is, which train are you on? Right? And he's asked this, there's a Qazi, Raknuddin, who asked this question. And he asked in Arabic, Fala Allah mazbo. Fala Allah mazbo. What is your religion? And mazbo, there's no direct translation in the English, but closest is religion. What is your religion? What is your faith? Who are you? I'm confused. You look like a Muslim, but you're not a Muslim because you're also wearing the signs which Hindus wear. And this is the great opportunity for Guru Nanak to say, Abdullah Allah, da mazbo, la mazbo. Abdullah Allah, I belong to that eternal love. I belong directly to the God. But I have no religion. I belong to every celebration which is done in the church, the mosque, the temples. All the words are connecting me, even the birds that are singing in the morning. And he sings in a beautiful way, Babiha, Amrit Vele Bolya. Babiha is the bird which sings in northern India. The first bird before the sun rises wakes up and starts singing. It's a beautiful. And Guru Nanak wakes up before the bird, making sure that he sings with the bird. Because his way is singing. And he says in a beautiful way, he says, Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao. That means sing, listen, having love with no boundaries. Where journey itself becomes the beautification, the manifestation of not the destination, but here in this moment. You all are already there where you have to be in this moment. Accept that, respect that, love that. As you are, not as you should be. Love, respect, and accept as you are, not as you should be. And that was the reminder to us. And I just want to have this dialogue because I started my journey in Canada in late 90s in University of Saskatchewan. I moved from northern India, plus 45 degrees centigrade, to minus 45. Had no idea where I was going. There was no internet. And people say, how did you feel? I said, what do you mean, how did you feel? Right? I've never experienced snow in my life, right? And here I am, walking in Saskatoon from my residence to the campus, and it is snowing, and it doesn't stop. I don't know if you know. It doesn't stop in Saskatoon, and it goes minus 40. And I'm having my turban, my face covered, and I'm an international student, and there are other international students, and there's one international student who, coincidentally, every day she's looking at me. She's looking strange in my eyes and want to ask something. And one day passed, the second day passed, and the third day, I stopped. I said, hello. I said, hello, who are you? I said, I'm Sikh. And she said, I knew you are Sikh. But why are you out? You have this, right? And she thought that I'm having this turban because she has never seen a turban man as an international student. And she's saying that something is not right because he doesn't look like the way I imagine someone should be outside. She's saying, you're covered, it's cold. You should be inside. Your head is covered with the turban. And you should be inside. And I'm saying, I'm Sikh. And she's saying, I know you are Sikh. I said, how do you know? Right? And this is interesting how people, the word, we call it Sikh with S-I-K-H. And there's a sound of ka, which is not in English. So when I say Sikh, Sikh, ka, Sikh, right? What does it mean, right? It's not S-I-C-K. Although I love when I get sick because I get all the attention and love more, right? And I sometimes I feel I am sick. I need that love, right? So, but it is SIKH. And what does it mean? It means a student of life so that we can learn to live, to love. We live so that we can learn to love all our life. And we love so that we can learn to live. And word is not complete when I say love, because everyone will have then their own definition of love, right? And that is the prayer which we sang. That is being given by Guru. That is, so here, what is Guru and what is Shabad? So the Guru is made of 2 syllables or 2 more words, Gu and Ru. And Gu means darkness, ignorance, vices, right? All that is holding us back. All the vices, vanity, pride, greed. The Ru is the journey that takes you and breaks those shackles. Gu, Ru. And that Shabad is the sound current which we are all playing. That Shabad is the Guru. And Guru Nanak said that Sikhi is universal. You can be Hindu, you can be Muslim, and right now we are all Sikhs because we are all trying to learn from Shabad, which is the word of love, which is removing the barriers, which is our North Star, the value. And the Sikh means disciple of discipline and disciplining. What is need to be disciplined? The discipline is, the earth is in the discipline. If earth loses its discipline, we will all lose our freedom. And our discipline as a Sikh is not to forget ever love, kindness to all. The church, the temples and the mosque, everything and anywhere, all the words, every dress, uniform, the words are connecting us to that love. That is, to us, is the Shabad. And that's very important for us because that kind of combines the Sikh journey with the Guru, because we, the next slide. So when we are in this journey, we're saying, let's contemplate. Rahau is the word which we use in the scriptures, is to reflect, not only with the self, but that North Star, the Guru. If you react to the situation, you will be conditioned by always the externalities, and all that would be controlling you and holding you back. When I was a child, I was told, oh, this is the way, this is only the way. But we know that as we are growing up, that's not only the way. There are many, many ways to express love, to express kindness. There are many ways to connect. And that Rahau is with the Shabad Guru, from Gu to Ru, in between you're sitting. And that is the journey of Sikhi. And, some people like to call it Sikhism. We call it Sikhi because this is our language word, which means journey, without judging. That you are between the Gu and Ru, and there are many, many layers of Gu to Ru, and you would say, I got the Ru. The moment you're frozen, you only think that this is the train, which is you can move, is that, when we call compassion with the freedom, because when you're frozen, when you said, I got it, that is when the vanity comes. The temptation of certainty that I got it and others didn't. Awesome. So, next slide. Thank you. I love having a dialogue, so I have put I wanted to stop on these slides, right? And my daughters last night said, oh, you're going to speak all that without slides? I said, He said, but you should have something there. And I said, okay. And they said, oh, but you will be late now. And I said, yeah. But Then they said, but you should. I said, okay. So what do you want me to do, right? And there was a question, that, are women considered equal in Sikhi? I would say, I don't know about, I know what scripture says, but before what I say about the scripture, I know the Sikh man know that women are higher. They are not equal, they're very higher. And we, in the she, we say is the he. It's not in the he we have the she. So she is much, much higher. But the scriptures are very clear that it's not the gender, it's the light journey. It's not the outer gender, race, faith, language. That is not how we should. We should all one in this oneness. We are all together. And this image is, for me, is my journey, where I'm in the spiral of Gu to Ru. And whenever I think that I got it, that is when actually I'm mostly wrong. And I don't see what conditioning has happened in my childhood, which I am learning about Sikhi is to unlearn more than learn. Because someone told me this is the way, that we are different. Yes, we are unique, but then we are all in the same journey, right? And we need to celebrate these uniqueness. And so for me, when I think about the compassion and the freedom, I think about it's in the mind. And this person is representing my mind. There are different prisons, and there are not one prison that I need to. When I go from Gu to Ru, I see that I continue to break those prisons that I am in. Through the love, through the kindness, what I'm getting from here today is the Shabad Guru that we sing together before me as well. And we'll continue to sing. I'm just going to share another thing about it. I was flying from Calgary, and this who question, this happened 15 years ago, and I had no gray hair at that time. There was a lady sitting, and it happened to be 24th December, Christmas Eve. And she looked at me, and she said, after a while, I started talking to her, and she got comfortable. She said, do you celebrate Christmas? And I looked at her. I said, you know what? I'm young Santa Claus. And I had a red turban. I said, is that what you do? I said, I am coming from north, actually. And so she didn't know anything about Sikhi or Sikhs, right? And she said, are you serious? Like, she was still doubting. And luckily I had a lot of chocolates and candies at that time, right? Like, I took it out. I said, I'm apprentice right now. I'm young, right? Because I don't have a belly right now, and I don't have a gray hair. But that is, see, so she said, I'm confused, right? So you said you're Sikh. And now you're saying you're a Santa Claus. I said, all Sikhs are supposed to be Santa Claus. And I said, this is very interesting, and I'm remembering now, and at the conversation, and I looked at her, and her looks, wow. And she was baffled, like, what is he saying? Like, she was trying to absorb. She said, he can't lie, right? And he said, so what do you do, like, as an apprentice? I said, well, we have to, instead of one day, we are practicing, so 365 days, we have to celebrate Christmas, right? She said, really? I said, yes, that is what Sikhi is about, right? We need to celebrate. We need to continuously get that key of love, continue to open the doors, continue to share the gifts, continue to go on this journey. And I just want to, there are some questions, I want to take those questions as well, because I love, Guru Nanak started with the dialogue. For him, that was one of the gifts he gave to the world, that he said, have a dialogue. And to us, that is very important, because dialogue has its own beauty. It's not, in the dialogue, you create something new. It's like hydrogen coming. I'm a student of science. Hydrogen coming and talking to the oxygen and making a water. Something more beautiful happens in the dialogue. Both brings there something unique, And as a hydrogen and oxygen, they combine and they make a water which is H2O, right? And that's happened in a dialogue. You all have a beauty. Wherever you are coming from, everyone has a beauty. Accept that beauty. Share that beauty. And sing. Although my last name is Singh, I'm a pathetic singer. People have asked me, and when I was an international student, I have another Chinese student who was sharing a room with me whose last name was Song. So we have Sing Song, and people are saying, where is Mr. Singh and where is Mr. Song? And I said, what a coincidence. I just want to show this beautiful image of, if you ever been to India, to northern India, it's called Hari Mandir. It's one of the places our fifth Nanak, the Nanak made it, constructed it for all people from the world are welcome. Exactly what Kathy and this church say, all are welcome. Who welcomes all, right? It doesn't matter, no one asks you who you are, they just sing together. They have community kitchen open to all. And it's very interesting, it's called Hari Mandir. And what does Hari means? Hari means love, present, compassion. And Mandir means, it's two words. Man means mind, heart. Andar means inside. The true church is here. Temple is here of love and God. And here, Hari Mandir. The beauty of this place is that this was constructed below the ground. So there are 4 doors to it. You can see there are 4 doors that symbolize that everyone from all 4 directions are welcome. But you have to take the stairs down to reach to the temple. And what does it mean? Be humble. Drop every tag's conditioning out. You can be a Muslim, you can be Hindu, you can be X, Y, doesn't matter. What matters is the humility and love you carry. You take away the tags, you go inside. And when you go inside, we are all one. Because there is where Buddha and Jesus are dancing and laughing together. But we can't see that because we are holding our thoughts that are conditioned externally, and we are slaves of those thoughts rather than compassion, which is connect us one and all together. That's the temple. And can I go to the next? So truth is higher. It's very easy for me to talk about what I am learning and unlearning. But highest is the truthful living. You become the spirit of your guru. You become the Jesus. You walk in the spirit of Jesus. You walk like Prophet Muhammad. You walk like Buddha. Talking about Buddha is great, but greater is to be Buddha. Greater is to be alive with Guru, and it's a continuous journey. So it's a realization, and we don't see that, it doesn't happen. With that note, I'm going to stop here.
Thank you so much for joining us. This has been so beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. This is so wonderful. I met Gurwinder because I'd asked him to speak in my interfaith community back in the spring. And it was so beautiful that by the end, everyone is like, he should be our spiritual leader. What are you doing here? You need to hire him. It's so beautiful. So we're just so grateful to have you. And I know folks have been so generous sending some questions. So you've answered many of them, but some of the ones that are left, I'm just wondering, what are some significant misunderstandings that non-Sikhs have about the Sikh tradition that you encounter in wider culture? And what information do we need to dispel, misinformation to dispel?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking this question. And again, thanks Kathy and Beth for having me here. I'm enjoying, really. This question, what are the misunderstandings by non-Sikhs? I would expand this question. There are misunderstandings by even Sikhs about the Sikhi. Because we confuse culture, Indian or Punjabi culture, with the spiritual journey. So Sikhi is universal. The Punjabi culture or Indian culture, a lot of Punjabis are Sikhs, but that doesn't mean their culture is representing Sikhi. So a lot of the time, that culture is dominating, and that is a lot of misunderstanding, right? Whether it is the way the culture looks at the gender, the way culture looks at celebrating a lot of with the spending money or doing that could be part of the culture, but the Sikhi is inner journey with the Guru, and I would say that in the Western or here, again, like others, we try to define people or we try to judge book by its cover. And that is the general thing. I think that is what we need to have a journey with the book before we start judging. And I think it is happening all over. Right?
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and speaking of judging by the cover, I know that especially post-September 11th, there were lots of Sikhs who were targeted because non-Muslims thought they were Muslim because of the turban. Could you speak a little bit to the turban? And I know some women also wear them. Could you say a little bit about that?
For sure. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, because the media shows people with guns in Afghanistan, what was happening, or in Iraq, and they look at the people with turban, they think they are terrorists. But in North America, I would say 100% people wearing turban are Sikhs from northern India. Yes, but when I get this question, oh, are you a Muslim? I don't want to say no, because they are trying to, I know what they're trying to say is, I don't want to say no because I don't want to say, oh, now I'm okay, right? I don't like that personally. I feel that yes, it is one of the things that we need to address, that we, again, what media is representing with the turban. For us, the turban in India at that time, only at those times, it was divided by caste and class. Only the royal people or the higher caste people can have the turban. The lower caste people or people from poor or underprivileged would not be allowed to have a turban. So for us, when the Guru said, everyone wear the turban, everyone is royal. There is no caste, there is no classification. For us, it is a celebration of justice, a liberation, and a reminder of that we stand together, united. And there is no caste, there is no religion as such. So it is the vow which we take when we initiate with the Guru in this journey. So for us, the turban represents that, but for the media, the turban can be something, what they are judging by the book.
I know that Sikhs and locally, Sikhs and the local Jewish community have worked together on projects, and also Sikhs in the Muslim community, a little bit speaking to what you're saying. I'm wondering about Sikh-Christian dialogue. Have there been many connections? Do you get invited to churches? What's the connection like?
I'm sure, there's always a dialogue happening. I kind of differentiate between the church is an institution and there is Christians, right? In any religion, I have found that the institution can have their own agenda. But the Christian who is having a direct relationship with the loving, live relationship with Jesus, I feel there is a dialogue always happening. I feel that that's the whole point. The dialogue has never stopped and would never stop, no matter what organized institutions are making us feel other way around. This world is here, we are here because of that continuous dialogue that is happening with Jesus and Buddha, with Nanak and Jesus right now in this moment. Yes, externally, I think we need to do more of that. We can have more of these dialogues to understand so that that voice goes more, that we appreciate that love and kindness in each other more.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hi, thanks very much for coming. I've got a technical question for you about the turban. Is there ever a time when you're not wearing the turban? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, it's like brushing your teeth. You put it on, and at night you take it off. Like, can you clarify that? I'd be very curious about that.
Thank you for asking. I had a lot of other questions earlier. How do you keep cold and hot? I said I have an air conditioning built. And people looked at me and said, how does you do? I said, we got a Japanese nanotechnology in the turban, right? So we do that. Yes, I do take off my bigger turban. There are times when I'm sleeping, it does get off. I have a smaller piece of cloth. This respect is that we do not cut our hair, and we try to live in the love of our Guru, who always was loving, and that's how the image of the Guru came. And he ordered us that if you're remembering, and the tradition of covering is more also from a culture in India, that they would cover the head when they are praying. So for the Sikhs, the discipline is to continuously live in that remembrance of love. And obviously, culturally, it became a ritual, right? But the question is, when you're covering your head, you're saying that I'm in a prayer. So if you know the Asian or Eastern culture, even the Jesus would be covering his head when he's kind of bowing. That's how the images are. So for us, the discipline is 24/7, 365 days praying. But can it come out? Absolutely. When I'm sleeping, I don't know. So it does. I have a small piece of a cloth, which I do. It's not a big turban. There are many different versions of way people cover their head. My daughters have covered with just a simple. That's how I do it in the home. When I play, I have a different way. So it's a very small piece of cloth, like a bandana, that I do. But if it comes out, absolutely, it's fine. No issues. Yeah, thank you for asking that question.
I'm struck by the color of the turban, and sometimes it's different color.
Yes.
And today there's red.
Yes.
And is there a special meaning?
Oh, yes. You guys are lovely people. I wanted to celebrate with red. There's no spiritual meaning, but obviously humans like to connect meanings to anything, right? And there are people culturally give meaning, like red in Chinese culture is a celebration culture. In my home, I have no say what color I am choosing. Today my daughter said, you have to wear red. I'm wearing red. I'm accompanied by my lovely wife, Guneet, Japlin and Rabia, and my sister Kamaljeet here. I'm blessed to have a lot of women in my home. There is a feminine, loving energy that keeps me sane and keep me humble. And there is so much I need to learn to unlearn, and it's a beautiful journey. My mother is there. So people ask me, how can your mother and your wife can live in the same place? I said, yes, that's the beauty. But I'm really enjoying. Thanks for asking that question. Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for being here with your family and all the love that you bring. And it's really deep. And my question is, you began today by speaking of there being a celebration within the Sikh tradition. Did you say that there is a celebration of sorts which is happening now? Today. Or that you in a way you're not in that or in that celebration, but you're here with us, and perhaps you are still in that celebration. Could you just say a tiny bit if that is true, if there is another celebration or a holy day or something? Did I understand that correctly? And what is that day?
Yeah. So in the history of Sikhs and the Guru, the time came when there was a scripture of hymns collected from all over India and Middle East, divine people like you, who were singing in different languages. So there are masters who were connected with that divine love, which was connecting all people from all backgrounds, that were collected in one place. So there are different languages, there are like multiple languages, there are different words, attributes of virtues, which in southern India is being sung, or in northern India, or west, east, or in Middle East. There are different names that were all collected, all the hymns, all the guidance for the Sikhs who were there coming from all backgrounds, who were saying, just like us, who were saying, let's walk on this journey. It doesn't matter whether I'm sitting in the mosque or church, I need to walk here, right? And then that was collected. On that day, the Guru Gobind Singh said, every Sikh, remember, it's the divine word, the Shabad. That is the Guru. Have a living relationship with the Guru all the time. And remember to take the guidance so that never ever think never stop in your journey. That journey of the Sikh with the Shabad Guru on that day is celebrated. But it is celebrated every day. We are being told, we have started celebrating that on a special day. But we are also told in the scriptures, celebrate that with your breath. Because we consider Guru as pavan, which means like air, oxygen, that you can live without food for some days. You can live without water, but you cannot live without air. Have a loving relationship like the way you breathe in. Rahau. Breathe out. You breathe in Ru. You breathe out Gu. You're taking away the darkness out. You're taking all the bondages, conditioning out. And you are bringing the light. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in love. Bring out the smiles. Let's celebrate together. Sikh people, there's a one question, where they're located. They're not, that's another kind of a myth. Are they located in northern India? Do they have to be certain culture? No. They're located here. Sikh is here, right? It had been. It didn't start it in the 15th century. It was always there. It is there. People might not look like us, but it is there. It is in you. If you're moving in that freedom. With that note, I just want to thank again this lovely people here, lovely congregation. Kathy, thank you so much. Samir, Beth, I'm sure she's on vacation, but if she's listening, please convey. Reverend Beth is amazing. I talked to her. And Rosemary, Dave, everyone here. I'm kind of forgetting some of the names. Susan, right? Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are wonderful people. Thanks for having us here. And we look forward to learning from all of you and to continue in this, expanding the circle of love. Let's not this circle ever stop. Let's continue to expand to infinity with every being, with everyone, with trees, with crows as well. Right? Everyone has a place. Thank you so much all. Thank you. Let's, again, just 3 times I like to say that the oneness that we are trying to practice is our breath. That's why we are here. Ik is one. Onkar is the expansion of love through that one in diversity. Everyone is diverse. Let's appreciate that. Let's celebrate whole creation. Everything is a dance, and the dancer is within the dance. That's how we look at it. The dancer is not separate from the dance. When the dance is happening, the dancer is in the dance, and the creator is in the creation. And with that, let's sing that together. And thank you again. Ik Onkar. Ik Onkar. Ik Onkar. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you all. Thank you.